Hello, I'm Mike and this is Will. We are the Tabletop Donkeys.
Hello.
I'm bringing you issue 75 of Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol magazine today. This came with part 1 for the Field Ordnance Battery unit, or the Astra Militarum Combat Patrol. You'll have to wait until the next issue to see them in action. So we'll be playing another campaign mission where the Genestealer Cults are going to have a third go at winning, this time against the Orks. First up we have the build guide for the Field Ordnance Battery. The first step you do twice because you're building the gun carriages in basically the same way. And then you've got the towing arms, but don't glue it to the base just yet to make it easier to paint. Step 2 starts building the bombast field gun, so you've got the gunner with some head options, and then the gun itself. Glue the two halves of the gun together, but don't glue it to the mounting point, so you can tilt it up and down if you want to. Step 3 is to just cut the gun shield off. That'll be a separate sub-assembly again, just for ease of painting. And then there's a little box containing some spare shells. You'll need it for one of the other crewmen to help get his hand in the right position. Then you're building the sergeant commanding the battery and then the third crew member who is the loader. And the same thing basically applies for the Malleus rocket launcher. This time you are gluing the gun shield on and keeping the weapon off, again for ease of painting. And again, don't glue the two halves of the rocket launcher to the little mounting point so you can rotate them up and down. And once again you have a sergeant and a third crewman who is the loader. And then once you've finished painting the ordnance battery you can glue it all together. So you glue the gun down to the base and then you can arrange the other crew members around as a sort of mini diorama. And then there's some painting guide. This is adding some of our newer paints to the Orks, starting with Euro Yellow for the parts of the Death Dread and any yellow runes. Then White Scar and basically any light grey or white areas like the white armour panels or the Death Dread's mask. Then any rocket casings and any decorative runes on the boss knobs. And then an awful lot of Administratum Grey over basically everything black. So there's lots of armour panels and plates over all the models, particularly on the War Boss and the Death Dread. Black rocket casings, any decorative runes, even the boys' trousers can all be highlighted in Administratum Grey. And there's a tiny step where you can go over all of the Orcs' fingernails with Abaddon Black and then highlight them with Administratum Grey as well. And you can see the gallery of the Orcs completed up to this point. And continuing over the page. And then part 19 of the Bonds of Honour story series about the Silver Templars and Sergeant Askerton's quest to recover his bolt rifle, where they've encountered some members of the Astra Militarum, although it seems an even greater foe is just over the horizon. And finally the collection article for the Field Ordnance Battery, where you can give a name to each of the guns and record when you've painted and played a game with them. And then their data sheet, although I'll be going over that in the next issue when we finally see them. But I'll hand you over to Will, who will take us through the campaign games introduced in this issue, and then the game we'll be actually playing.
So as usual with one of these issues where we got the first part of a unit and we can't use it on the battlefield, we don't have a scenario for them, we just have a couple more campaign games presented. First up being Astra Militarum versus Orks on Sweeping Raid. And then of course the victory outcome over the page, and then Astra Militarum versus Leagues of Votan on Archaeotech Recovery. And the victory outcomes for that game. So this video's battle report will be a full combat patrol game, and we'll be going back to issue 69 to play Genestealer Cults versus Orks on Clash of Patrols. So the Genestealer Cults are making their plans and schemes, but a marauding band of Orks is threatening to upset that, and the Genestealer Cults are going to respond violently to deal with the incursion. The quicker they can destroy the Orks, the less chance they have of being discovered. And obviously the victory outcomes, neither of these forces won their previous game, so they're both hoping to get onto the victory track to win the 3 games in a row required to win the campaign. So we'll get the game set up and see who prevails. So we've set up for Clash of Patrols. You can easily see the 4 objectives from this viewpoint and the terrain which we set out in advance. Mike is playing the Genestealer Cults in the far side of the board, and I'll be playing the Orks, which will be on the closer side to the camera. So we'll have a look at the Orc deployment. We've got both units of boys on the board, on opposite sides, the Death Dread and the War Boss in the centre, and I brought the Boomback Snazwagon instead of the Deathcopters, that's out on the right flank. Obviously the War Boss does not have the teleporter enhancement because he's not in Deep Strike. He'll have Grizzled Scarboy for the 4+ Feel No Pain against shooting attacks. And for my secondary objective I'm going to pick Stomp 'em. So I nominate a unit at the start of the battle round from the second battle round onwards, and if that unit is destroyed by a melee attack from the Orcs, I get 3 victory points. And then we have the Genestealer Cult deployment.
So I've got the Rock Grinder on my right flank with the Aberrants behind some terrain, so they're out of line of sight. And in the middle I've got both units of neophytes, one just near objective 1, the other so that they can get some cover, although the Magus is attached to a unit of the neophytes. She'll have the Sonic Shield enhancement, which gives them +1 to save against ranged attacks, and the Acolytes are in Deep Strike. And my secondary is Rise Up, where from the second battle round onwards, at the end of the opponent's turn I roll 1d6 for each objective marker I control that has one or more neophyte hybrid units within range of it, unless they're battle shocked, and on a 1 to 3 I get 1 VP, on a 4+ I get 3 VP.
And a reminder of Clash of Patrols. 5 victory points for up to 3 objectives in the command phase from the second battle round onwards. Player going last scores at the end of the 5th turn instead. And again, from the second battle round onwards, you can gather intelligence from an objective to gain an extra command point, but each objective can only be selected for that once. So then we just need to roll off to see who goes first. And the Genestealer Cults have won it, so they will be going into Genestealer Cults turn 1.
So my movement's going to be pretty minimal. The Rock Grinders moved up to contest Objective 2, try and stay as far away from the Death Dread as possible, and this unit of Neophytes has moved up just so that they can tow onto the objective and also see all of the Orc boys opposite them. Pegasus' unit stayed still. She effectively gives the unit cover wherever she is, and the Orcs don't have that much AP, so they're fine to stay where they are and get the benefit of heavy. And I'll start shooting with the Rock Grinder, going to fire its Clearance Incinerator and Heavy Stopper into that unit of boys near it. So starting with the Clearance Incinerator, 2d6 shots. For 11, I'll take that. Wounding on 3s. That is 9 wounds at -1.
9 6+ saves. Made 2, so that'll be 7 dead boys.
And then the Heavy Stubber will have 6 shots on 4s. 4 hits. Wounding on 5s though, because Orcs are beefy. Still got 2 wounds with no AP.
One model is in range to get cover from the barricade, so I'll do the saves on him with a 4. No. And the other boy that isn't the knob on a 5. Saved.
This Neophyte squad that moved are going to shoot at the 2 remaining boys, try and finish them off. So those Neophytes have 9 shots from the Heavy Stubber and Firearms. I'll roll them all together because they're all wounding on 5s. Hitting on 4s. 3 hits, wounding on 5s, getting 2 wounds.
5+ saves. Made 1, so just the knob left.
So the Seismic Cannon, which hits on 5s, gets 3 hits. Strength 6, so wounding on 3s. 1 wound. I can't think of another reason to use a CP this turn, so I'll re-roll 1. Nope, 1 wound.
6 to save. Nope.
D3 damage. 2.
Kills the knob and destroys the whole unit.
The other unit of Neophytes will shoot the other unit of boys. Same as last time, 9 shots from Heavy Stubber plus Firearms first on 4s. 6 hits, wounding on 5s. Getting 2 wounds.
There are boys behind a terrain piece with cover on 4s. Failed 1.
And then the Seismic Cannon will hit on 4s as well. Gets 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. 2 wounds this time at -1.
So 5's in cover. Save 1, so 2 dead. And I'll spend my command point for Crump the Gits, allowing the Orcs to make a move of d6 inches directly towards those Neophytes. And I roll a 4. Brings those boys forward slightly. But that will be the end of the Genestealer Cult's turn, so on to Orcs turn 1. So all my armies moved up, the Boombacker Snazwagon moving up near to Objective 3. The boys advanced and they rolled a decent number and were able to get to here, which crucially will be out of range of the Rock Grinder's Incinerator, even if it moves, while the Death Dread moved normally and the Warboss advanced, coming towards the Rock Grinder. And I'll start the shooting with the Boombacker Snazwagon. It's going to put all of its shots into the Magus' Neophyte unit.
Yeah, and I'm going to spend a CP for Lurking Killers to give it -1 to hit.
I'll start with the Mech Special, which is in rapid fire range, so it has 16 shots, which will be hitting on 6s, but those will be sustained hits 1. Looks like 4 6s, so that'll be 8 hits. Strength 5, so wounding on 3s. 4 wounds at -1.
5 up saves, because we got the +1 from the Magus. Didn't make any of those, so that's 4 dead.
Then the Big Shooter has 5 shots hitting on 6s. Nope. And the Grot Blaster has 1 shot hitting on a 5. No. Now my only other shooting is the Death Dread, which will put its rockets into the Rock Grinder. D3 shots. 1. Hits on a 5. No. And I might as well declare a long-range charge with the Snazwagon. It's probably going to need about a 10. It rolls a 7. That won't be enough. And I'll also declare the Death Dread into the Rock Grinder. It needs a 9. Gets it an 11, so it's in. It will charge to there, keeping a little bit of distance from the Aberrants. The Rock Grinder has to make a battle shock test because of piston-driven brutality.
Leadership 7. It's battle shocked.
And then 6 attacks hitting on 3s. 5 hits wounding on 4s because it's toughness 10. That's 4 wounds at -2.
5 up saves. Oh, I made 1, so it's still alive on 1 wound. And then hitbacks from the Rock Grinder. 6 attacks on 4s because it's damaged now, but 6s are sustained. And that's 5 hits plus 2 sustained for 7 out of 6 hits. Strength 10 versus toughness 9. So wounding on 3s. 5 wounds at -2.
5 4+ saves. Failed 4 of them.
2 damage each.
So 8 damage will kill it, so I'm going to have to re-roll with my command point. No, it kills it. Does it explode on a 6? Oh, it does, and does the final wound.
And that will kill the rock grinder.
So they mutually destroy each other. So that rather clears that flank of the board, and we'll be heading into Genestealer Cult's turn 2. So I'm going to declare a war at the start of the battle round, giving me 5+ invulnerable save, be able to advance and charge, and +1 strength attacks. I'm also going to pick the Magus' Neophyte unit as my target for Stomp 'em, so I have to destroy that unit in melee for points. The Genestealer Cults gain 5 victory points for holding 1 objective, and an extra command point by gathering intelligence on it.
So for my movement, I advanced the Aberrants. They rolled a 1, so I re-rolled it, and it rolled into a 2, so I can't get them onto objective 2, unfortunately. These Neophytes couldn't quite reach it either, so they moved a little bit, so they can all see the boys clearly, and the other unit has moved to be near objective 1 just to be further away from all the Orks. While my Acolytes deep strike into the bottom right corner, 9 inches away from the Snaz wagon. Hopefully we can try and tie it up, and if they all die, I might be able to bring them back. Going to start with the full unit of Neophytes shooting at the Orc boys, because they're the only target they can really see and do anything against.
I think I will go to ground.
12 shots with auto rifles and the heavy stubber, because it's just in 18. Hitting on 4s. 7 hits, wounding on 5s. 3 wounds, no AP.
4+ save, we go to ground. Made 2.
4 shots from the seismic cannon, which miss. So just 1 dead boy. I'll do the Acolytes left. There's just 3 auto pistols, 2 going into the boys and 1 into the Snaz wagon. We'll just show the saves if I do any wounds.
They did get 1 wound on a boy who has a 4+ save. No.
And then finally the other Neophytes are going to shoot as well at the same unit of boys. 8 shots from auto weapons and heavy stubbers on 4s. 3 hits wounding on 5s. 2 wounds.
4s. Another 1 dead.
Seismic cannon, 6 shots on 5s. 1 hit. Wounds on the 3, it does, -1 AP.
5. Oh, save.
And then the Weber, D6 shots, 1. Wounds on the 6, no. And then the Acolytes will charge the Snaz wagon. So gonna need a 9. They get a 5, I'll re-roll it. Into a 4, so they're not going anywhere.
But that'll be it for Genestealer Cult's turn 2, on to Orcs turn 2. So I gained 10 victory points for holding 2 objectives, and then the Orc boys advanced.
Yeah, and when they finish their move, the full unit of Neophytes will overwatch them. So 19 shots from various firearms and heavy stubbers. They're all going to be wounding on 5s, hitting on 6s. 3 hits in there. Wounding on 5s. 2 wounds.
5s. No, 2 dead boys.
Seismic cannon hits once. And wounds at -1.
6. Oh, saved.
And the Weber, 5 shots. Wounding on 6s, which are devastating. 2 dead wounds.
So it actually kills 4 boys, leaving just the knob. Well, that actually leaves me with only 3 models left, but we shall persevere. After all, there's a war going on. So the Snaz wagon's moved up behind that knob, so I get more OC on the objective in case he fails his battle shock test. While the war boss has advanced a mighty 6 inches towards the Aberrants. Might as well try and damage them while the war is in effect. But the Snaz wagon did not advance, so it can shoot at full effectiveness, and it will shoot at the Magus' unit, because they're the unit I need to kill in melee. So if there's only like 1 or 2 models left, that would be handy. 16 shots from the mech special, hitting on 5s, 6s are sustained. Bit more in the box. Oh, another 6. 4 6s and 3 5s is 11 hits, wounding on 3s. 7 wounds at -1.
7 5-ups because of the Magus' buff. Made 2, so it's 5 dead.
So there's 1 left. This is actually where I hope that my remaining shots don't kill a model, because then I won't get my points for killing the unit in melee. But oh well, big shooter, 5 shots on 5s, 2 hits, and oh, no wounds with a double 1, that's a good result. The Grot Blaster needs to be bad, hits on a 4. It missed, hooray! The other units advanced and didn't have assault, so in the charge phase we'll start with the War Boss charging the Aberrants. Yeah, he's in with a 10. Charging there prevents the Aberrants from piling in past him to get onto the objective. And the lone knob will charge the Magus' squad. He's in with a 7. So the Snaz wagon will charge the other unit of Neophytes. And it rolls a 4, which won't be enough. I'm going to re-roll that because I want to make the most of the war while I've got the extra attacks. Yes. So it finishes its charge like that, so as to block the Neophytes off from Objective 1, and I'm also going to spend a command point for Tank Shock. Now, the magazine's version of Tank Shock operates on the strength of its melee weapon, which is currently 8 thanks to the war, so 8 dice, and mortal wounds on 5s. Getting 4. Then we're on to the fight phase where I'll do the war boss first. So he has 5 attacks with the war, which will be hitting on 2s. 4 hits, wounding on 2s because he's strength 13 at the moment. 4 wounds at -2.
2 damage each, so that's going to kill 2 of the aberrants.
Then I'll do the Snazwagon, which has 5 attacks at the moment, hitting on 4s. 3 hits, wounding on 2s. 3 wounds at -1.
6s. Nope, 3 dead.
And the Lone Knob has 4 attacks with the War, hitting on 4s with the Power Claw. I only hit once. This needs to wound to kill that neophyte and get me the points, which will be doing on a 2 though. Yes, phew.
So my cult ambush marker is going behind the terrain in the Orks deployment zone.
We didn't catch it on camera, but the Magus got 1 hit with her return attacks on the knob.
Wounds on a 4. Nope. There's some parley in for the neophytes, but...
the leader's just out of range of objective 2. But their attacks didn't do anything, so then it's just the aberrants.
Who will pile in around. That one who's not in base contact should be able to get onto the objective to at least contest it. 9 attacks from the aberrants on 3s. 7 hits. Wounding on 3s. 4 wounds at -2.
4s for the war boss. Failed 2, takes 6 damage and is down to 1. Leaving the war boss on 1 wound, and that remaining aberrant consolidates round to contest objective 2. But that will be the end of the battle round, where I get 3 points because I did kill my target for Stomp'em, and there are no objectives with neophyte hybrids on it, so no points for the secondary for the Genestealers, as we head into their turn 3. So I'll pick this unit of neophytes as my target for Stomp'em this battle round.
Yep, and they have to take a battle shock test. Leadership 7, so they're fine. So the Magus will fall back from the Orc knob.
Yeah, when she does that, the Snazwagon will overwatch her. So 16 shots from the mech special, hitting on 6s, but those are sustained. Only 1 6. So that's 2 hits, wounding on 3s. 1, -1.
6 up. Saved.
Big shooter on 6s. Nope. And the Grot Blaster. No.
So the neophytes also fell back to contest objective 2, while the acolytes advanced and they can get over to objective 3. And we'll just be straight to the fight phase, because the aberrants are staying in combat and I haven't got any units that can shoot.
So we're down to 4 attacks with the war boss, hitting on 2s. 3 hits. Wounding on 2s. 2 wounds.
So that will kill another aberrant. 6 attacks back on 3s. Getting 4. Wounding on 3s. Getting 2. I'm going to spend a CP to reroll 1. No, into a 2, so it's only 2.
4s to save. Nope, he failed 1 and I don't have a command point, so the war boss is destroyed. And with the consolidation onto the objective, that actually brings us to the end of Genestealer Cult's turn 3, onto Orcs turn 3. So I gain 10 victory points because I still hold 2 objectives, and I can't gather intelligence anymore because my warlord is dead, and that lone knob has to take a battle shock test, which he will pass on of 7. Oh, he gets a 10. So the Boomjacker Snazwagon won't move, so that the Genestealer Cults can't use Return to the Shadows and move them away from it, and then the knob is going to move to next to the Magus.
Yeah, but when he starts his move, the 2 neophytes with heavy weapons will overwatch him. Do the seismic cannon on 6s. Gets a hit. Wounds on a 3. It does. -1.
6 plus. Nope.
D3 damage. 3.
No, he dies. And the end of my movement phase, the new unit of neophytes arrive. And using maximum coherency distance, they can get onto objective 4 by doing that. So I've only got 1 model left. It's going to shoot the Heavy Stubber and the Grot Blaster into the 3 neophytes, because I need to charge them and kill them, but if there's a couple dead in advance, that will help, while the mech special will go into the aberrants. Big shooter on 5s. 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. Oh, only 1 wound.
5 up. Saved.
Grot Blaster. Missed. And 16 shots from the mech special at the aberrants. 11 hits with the sustained, wounding on 5s because it's only strength 5 against toughness 6. 3 wounds at -1.
3 6-ups to the aberrants. No, lose another one.
And then a charge from the Snazwagon into the neophytes. It's in. Now charge like that, staying in range of objective 1 just so that the Magus doesn't take control of it. Not going to tank shock because I need to kill them with melee attacks, so 4 attacks on 4s. Oh, only 1 hit, so even with a command point I can't kill all of them. Oh, he didn't even wound. I might as well reroll that actually, just because I don't have much use for the command point. Yes, it's a wound at -1.
6 up. Nope.
And their return attacks didn't do anything, predictably, but they are on an objective, so there will be some points for the secondary.
Yeah, and I do control it, so I get to use Rise Up. So on a 1 to 3 I get 1, on a 4 plus I get 3. I get 1.
But with that, we'll be on to Genestealer Cult's turn 4. So at the start of the battle round, I would choose those neophytes again as the target for my secondary, because they're the easiest thing to kill in melee.
Yeah, and I'll gather intelligence from objective 2 because my warlord is still alive. And then Battleshock tests, the 2 neophytes in combat with the Snaz Wagon, leader 7. They fail, but I'll use Insane Bravery to make them auto-pass, so I will maintain control of that objective. And then the Aberrant passes.
So the Genestealer Cults gain 15 points, therefore, holding 3 objectives.
And the 2 neophytes will fall back from the Snaz Wagon. The other unit will move up so that they can all see the Snaz Wagon to shoot it.
But it will overwatch them when they do so, because most of the stratagems aren't going to be of any use to it anyway, so I might as well use it for this. 16 shots from the mech special on 6s. 3 6s, so 6 hits. Wounding on 3s. 4 wounds at -1.
6s. Made 1, so it's only 3 dead.
Big shooter gets a hit, which wounds.
5 up. Ooh, saved.
Grot Blaster missed.
Rest of the movement, the Aberrant will move so he can't fail his charge. The Megas will move to take over Objective 3, while the Acolytes will move up to charge the Snaz Wagon. Start shooting with the Neophytes, obviously everything into the Snaz Wagon. They've got the Heavy Stubber plus the Leader's Pistol, because it will wound on 5s, the on 4s. Only 1. Doesn't wound. Seismic Cannon, on 5s. Oof, gets 4 hits. Strength 6, so 5s. 1 wound at -1.
It's got cover, so 4+. Yep.
And the Weber, 6 shots, wounding on 6s, which is devastating. 1 dev wound.
And all their firearms didn't damage it.
Yeah, and there's some pistol shots for the Acolytes. We have to do them separately because I'll get reroll hits and wounds of 1.
They did get a wound, but it has cover from this angle as well, so a 3, yes. Megas' pistol also didn't do anything.
So the Aberrant will charge, it will just go directly forwards into the vehicle, and then the Acolytes will charge, needing about a 7. They get a 6, so I'll reroll that. Into an 8, that's definitely enough.
So making their charge like that.
Yep, I'll pick them to fight first. So with some piling in, we might be able to make it have to take a Desperate Escape test. So I'll do the big mining tool first. 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, because there's the Snaz Wagon's special ability, giving them -1 to hit.
Yeah, it's an aura of -1 to hit.
We're re-rolling 1s. Missed. Leader's weapons. Again, 4s re-rolling 1s. 3 hits. Strength 5, so 5s re-rolling 1s. 2 wounds at -2.
6s to save. Nope.
1 damage each.
So down to 6.
9 attacks from the others. 6 hits, strength 4, wounding on 5s, re-rolling 1s. 2 more wounds at -1.
5s. Oh, save both.
And then the Aberrant on 4s gets 1 hit. 3s, wounds at -2.
6. Nope.
3 damage.
It's down to 3 wounds. I'll attack the Aberrant back. 4 attacks on 4s. 3 hits. Wounding on 3s. This is strength 7. 3 wounds at -1.
6s, made 2.
Oh, it's still there. And that was the end of Genestealer Cult's turn 4. On to Orcs' turn 4. Has to do a battle shock. I can't hold any objectives anyway, but this might affect if it can fall back safely. No. I won't use Insane Bravery because the unit I need to kill in melee I can't charge anyway, even if I do fall back, I can't shoot. So we're just going to move to that phase, put the mech special into the Acolytes and the other guns into the Aberrant, see if we can take that wound off it. The shooting at the Aberrant, 6s with the big shooter. 1 hit, wounds on a 5, no. And the Grot Blaster is a pistol, so it hits on a 4. It does. Wounds on a 6, no. And on the Acolyte, 16 shots, which are sustained. 5 6s, so 10 hits. Wounding on 3s. Only 4 wounds at -1.
6s to save. Failed them all, so we'll leave the heavy mining tool, I suppose.
Well, that brings us to the fight phase, where one of the Genestealer Cult units can fight first.
I'll do the Aberrant because it's got more attacks. 3 attacks on 4s. I'll re-roll one of those. No.
Well, we'll put all the attacks on the Acolyte in that case, on 4s. 2 hits. Winning on 3s because it's strength 7 versus toughness 4. 1 wound at -1.
6 up. Dead.
But that will be the end of the Orc turn. So the Genestealer Cult score for both objectives 2 and 4 because they have neophytes on them.
So that's 2 3s, there's only 2 more victory points.
So that actually puts it at 23 victory points each at the end of Battle Round 4. The Genestealer Cults are going to win because in their turn they're going to get 15. But we might as well play it out and see if they can finish off the Snaz Wagon. As we head into Genestealer Cults turn 5. In this battle round I'll pick the Aberrant as my target to kill in melee.
Yeah. 2 neophytes do still have to take battle shock to stay on objective 2. They pass with a 7. And the Aberrant as well. He's good.
Which does then give the Genestealer Cults 15 points for holding 3 objectives.
So there's not going to be any movement other than the Aberrant falling back. No other movements, we're just going to try and shoot the thing to death. Starting with these 2. They are in the 6-inch aura, so Seismic Cannon on 5s, gets 2 hits. Wounding on 5s, Nope. On the heavy stower, it's 5s. 1 wound, no AP.
4+, yes.
And the other unit on 4s for the seismic cannon, 3 hits. Woundy on 5s. Oh, get them in the box. I'll re-roll 1 because I've got a better use for my command points. Nope, 1 wound at -1.
5, so 4 with a cover, but yeah.
Still fair.
Oh yeah.
D3 damage, 3.
It's destroyed. Does it blow up on a 6? No. Oh, I would have killed the aberrant. So then we can speed straight to the end of Orcs turn 5, where the Genestealer Cults got another 4 victory points for having neophytes on objectives, leaving the final scores, with painted army points, at 52 to 33 in favour of the Genestealer Cults. So a Genestealer Cult victory, their first in the campaign, and we'll recap that for you now. So that was a full combat patrol game for issue 75 of Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol magazine. How did you think that went?
Generally pretty well. Probably only way it could have gone much better is if the rock grinder had survived, even if it was only on 1 wound. I could have just charged the walls with it. My plan was to kill off all of the boys, just because something like 80% of your OC is all in boys, so I just want to get rid of them so I can hold all the objectives. But effectively, I was able to lock down your only fast unit. The Death Dread and the Warboss don't have that many attacks and are likely to get bogged down at least for a little while, and they can't really get around and hold objectives too well. My neophyte unit that didn't have the Magus in it, I could have moved better in the first turn, although probably should have initially moved them so they could move up to take objective 2. Considering that wasn't the case, I should have moved them to stay on objective 1. I probably lost some victory points that way, although it worked out in the end. Also, holding on to objectives early would have let me get more secondary points as well. I probably need to get some lucky overwatching, and my shooting was generally pretty good. A couple of things like shooting the Orc Knob with Overwatch with a seismic cannon shot. He could have killed the Magus, and then I would have been stuck with something to hold objective 3. So I think there are points where it could have gone much worse for me.
Yes, and unlike the previous matchups we've seen with the Genestealer Cults, the Orcs don't have very good armour, so the neophytes shooting can actually whittle them down. Even though they're toughness 5, just the number of shots and the heavy weapons will eventually pick them off. And the Orc shooting isn't much to write home about, with the possible exception of the Snazwagon, and so the neophytes aren't taking too much damage from the incoming Orcs anyway.
Yeah, I mean, the Snazwagon basically stole the show, I think, for the Orcs. Apart from the Death Dreads, the mutually assured destruction with the Rock Grinder, Snazwagon, I think, was pulling all of the weight.
Pretty much. The Death Dread was the only thing that could really take on the Rock Grinder, so it did do its job, even if it came down to its ammunition stores cooking off and finishing the job. The Warboss did take out 3 of the Aberrants, which was important, but the Snazwagon was pretty effective against just about everything else. Just the sheer number of shots with the sustained hits is pretty effective against lightly armoured infantry and things. And it even did reasonably well in melee. Wouldn't throw it into a dedicated melee unit, and eventually you did catch up with it with those, and even one Aberrant did some damage to it, but it has the speed to escape things it doesn't want to fight in melee.
Yeah, but it's definitely okay for tying up neophytes. They're not going to hurt it, and then they can't fall back and shoot, so...
And unlike previous games, the Acolytes, Deep Strike and the Cult Ambush both were effective in terms of taking control of the board. It was pretty much what we identified might be the better situation for Cult Ambush, was facing an aggressive army that wants to come straight at you, because you can drop units behind them and either force them to go backwards or carry on and lose their home objectives. It hadn't worked previously against shootier armies because you couldn't get close enough to them without risking the marker just being taken away. Similarly, the Acolytes, I mean, yes, I ignored the fact that they dropped on behind me, but they're a decent advance roll meant you got onto my objective anyway. From the point of view of the scenario, it might have been better for me to take the secondary objective where I can loot things, because they're all outside my deployment zone in this mission, and I did hold all of the objectives at one point or other, but I haven't used Stomp them so much, and it just seemed a bit more thematic for this game anyway.
Well, there's certainly enough easy targets.
And the fact that you went first did mean you could shoot me first. I don't actually think it would have made any difference though if I'd gone first, because I wouldn't have been in charge range, so the boys would have moved up and they still would have got flamed by the incinerator, and I wouldn't have been in range to charge in my turn 1 anyway.
The main advantage is that I got 2 rounds of shooting before you got in, although my second turn of shooting wasn't nearly as devastating as the first one.
Yeah, but overall a first victory in a full combat patrol game for the Genestealer Cults, so that puts them up to 3 games played and 1 win, roughly on a par with most of the other factions actually, and we'll be getting their additional units soon, the Atalan Jackals. We've got another couple of games for new units coming up, so it might be a few issues before we see another full combat patrol game. The first one might be the one where we try out the Jackals. But until then, leave any comments below, let us know how you've got on with the Genestealer Cults Combat Patrol, if you've played with it, any matchups you found are more or less favourable. Leave a like and subscribe if you did enjoy the video. Nearly finished the magazine run now, but there'll be more content to come after that. We've been the Tabletop Donkeys, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye for now.